that as cadets at the NDA, there must be a program that teaches every cadet how to save and how to invest. That should be part of the core of the Nigerian Defense Academy. By so doing, you are inculturating into the cadets, right, the spirit of investment, the spirit of saving, and the spirit of creating wealth. Diversified investment strategies involves equities benefits, which provides ownership, dividend, and long-term growth while acting as an inflation hedge. Fixed income stability is that product like bonds and treasury bills, or which offers predictable returns and sustainable or stabilized portfolios. Balanced diversification is important. Where you spread it, you take some risk and you also take some succor. That is very, very important because the succor will always mitigate your risk. Long-term planning is totally important. Focus on long-term security. Seek professional advice to navigate deregulated markets effectively. Trading versus investing is important. Using this strategy, either long-term or short-term, will certainly make a difference in the kind of investment that you finally get into. And once you are able to do this, you are able to put together the risk associated with investment. But what does it help you do? It gives you a broad market exposure, diversified benefit, cost efficiency, and long-term growth potentials. This will help you on hands-on investment strategy. What you do not know, you certainly cannot benefit from. And that is why you must be aware. Financial education is key and critical in your ability to do this. And once you are able to do this, you are able to achieve your goals even in the long term. You will make sure that your money actually works for you. While I say all of these sweet things, I must also bring to your recognition that there are risks associated with investment. And those risks are there. But the use of professional advice, the use of professional knowledge will help you to mitigate those risks. And it is important that there are causes to volatility. One of those causes are economic data, earning reports, and company leadership change, market sentiments, of course, new innovations, herd mentality, and interest rate change, among other events. But volatility is there. How do you manage that volatility? One is to purchase low at a low price. The theory of investment says you buy low and sell high. At every point in time, you must be on the lookout. You must also avoid panic and stay calm. You must also focus on long-term investment horizon while you stick to and review your plan continuously. Of course, we have spoken to diversification. We have spoken to the benefits of collective investment. Collective investment is diversification with small capital. Everybody can invest in a mutual fund. There is nobody that is left out of it. So as cadets, make it a plan, make it a vow that immediately I begin a family, each of my child will get a particular amount of my salary every month, and that will be invested in a collective investment scheme for that child to either grow with or actually be the source of the child's university education. My prayer is every cadet here will dream of sending their child to the best universities in the world, including the NDA. My prayer here is that the next time that a cadet graduates from here, his first choice will be that my child must attend the NDA irrespective of how it is, because the value that has been created in the NDA surpasses all. My prayer also is that every cadet here will dream of his child going to Stanford University, to Oxford University, to Cambridge University, and to Harvard University to make an international mark. And that can only happen when you save. Those schools are not meant for only the people you call rich. They are also meant for you because you have given your service to this nation. Ideal for passive investors. Collective investment schemes are very important. They are suitable for individuals, who have limited time or expertise to actively monitor and manage their investments. Professional fund management is important and is available, and cost efficiency will be the order of the day. And so, it is important that as cadets, you speak to your broker to make sure that there is a research investment. Of course, evaluate the fee structures, accept trading instruments, and consider customer support before doing that. You must open your eyes, because in these days and time, people want to take advantage of people, and you must not be those that they will take advantage of. So clearly, when you ask questions, you will have answers. But that is why, and that is where the Securities and Exchange Commission comes in. The Securities and Exchange Commission is your partner in progress, ready to protect you whenever, wherever you are. And so, the investment protection and fraud prevention requires due diligence and verification. Investors must verify operators' registration and confirm agent credentials to avoid fraudulent schemes. While we do that, I want to share something with you, even for the officers that are here today. I know some of you may have invested, and while you had invested, you had not received your dividends. While you had invested, you have not heard anything regarding the investment you made. The SEC has a website. It has a website page where you can check your investment. And that website is www.sec.gov.ng. I will hold on and I will repeat it again. www.sec.gov.ng. www.sec.gov.ng. If you didn't get it, all you need to do is to put in on Google, SEC Nigeria. It will take you to our website. And once you get to our website, click the website, you'll find e-dividends, e-dividend platforms. Click on it, put your name, all of the dividends that you have not received will appear. And you are able to retrieve every money that the company you have invested in has made that is meant for you. So some of you may be millionaires that you already don't know. So take advantage of that and do that, and you come and thank me later. But as you finish clapping, remember that you are going to keep 10% of that money for the Nigerian Defense Academy. So, investors' profiles are necessary, and the strategy is important. For anyone that has come to you to make an investment, ask that person a question. Are you registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission? If you are registered, show me your registration certificate. If the person cannot show you their registration certificate, then it is a scam. Don't put your money. I can beat my chest here that many officers may have been involved in scams. Oftentimes, and more also, even the officers' wives. And the officers' wives cannot come and tell their officers because it will be wrong for them to do so. So it's important that you verify. It's important that you ask questions. And those questions you can ask from the SEC. The SEC is ever available to providing you those answers. Very shortly, the SEC is launching the smart code, wherein you can dial and find out if a particular investment is a legitimate investment or a scam. By November, that will be launched and will be made available to the Nigerian public. It is important that as investors, you must also monitor your investment, because it is where your treasure is that your heart is. If you cannot monitor your investment, please delegate your wife to be your chief investment advisor in order to delegate your investment for the future. But as you try to do that, also know that you have to pay her advisory fee as you delegate her to do that. While I begin to round up, it is important to speak to you here about Ponzi schemes. What are Ponzi schemes? Ponzi schemes are named after a man called Charles Ponzi. He's an Italian that ran to America. In the 1920s, Ponzi promised investors a 50% return within a few months for what he claimed was an investment in international mail coupons. Ponzi used funds from new investors to pay fake returns to earlier investors. A lot of us must have heard about Umana. A lot of us may have heard about Nospetco. A lot of us may have heard about MMM. A lot of us may have heard about, most recently, about Cybex. And so many. I know clearly, even in Kaduna here, there are a lot of them. The SEC is clamping down on them. Most recently, we have issued advisories to 82 companies who are fraudulent. And so it is important that I bring that to your awareness. You have worked hard. You have slaved for this country. You have protected this country. And you have made some money. It will be totally unjust. It will be totally unreasonable that that money is lost to a scam bank. And so it is important that you know about this. Please, if it is too good to be true, then certainly it's not true. No one will give you much money than himself. I will tell you today that nobody likes you more than yourself. So if somebody comes to tell you that if you invest 100,000 naira, he's going to give you 60,000 naira as return in 1 month, that person is a criminal. And as law enforcement officers, all you ought to do is to arrest that person and put that person behind bar. So a Ponzi scheme is a fraudulent investment scheme in which returns to earlier investors are paid using the capital of new investors, rather than legitimate profit earned through business activities. The challenge in this is that everybody wants to be richer than their neighbor. So oftentimes, when people get into all of these schemes, they don't tell their friends so that they can come out richer and appearing richer. Whereas, when they lose the money also, they are also not able to tell their friends. Oftentimes, they commit suicide, and that is not our portion. So, what are the features of Ponzi schemes? Unregistered, unsupervised sponsors and operators. Sponsors and operators are under any regulatory supervision. No investment portfolio. Typical Ponzi schemes do not undertake or hold any investment portfolio. They just speak with their mouth. What are you doing? They will be telling you things that you also know cannot happen. Non-permissible investment businesses. Deployment of contributed monies in non-permissible investment, such as purchase and operation of commercial buses, commercial rickshaws, vehicles, commercial motorcycle transport. Just name it. Some of them come to the extent that we are buying coal to export. Are you the first person to buy coal to export? All of these, the use of technology, in much the same way as technology has been used to revolutionize business processes, it has been applied to Ponzi schemes. The use of Bitcoin for subscription and payment, investment platforms, all of these are part of the challenges of Ponzi schemes. High return, income payouts, irrespective of market and economic conditions, and in the short time period, above what can be earned in any legitimate investment. An initial sum of money placed the scheme by participants at the early stage of the scheme, because a lot of people still go into it knowing fully well that these Ponzi schemes are dangerous, but they often tell themselves, let me go in first and come out. Let others come in later. I will have left. Sometimes you get deceived because it is the week that you put your money that the Ponzi scheme itself will get bust. Aggressive and populist marketing strategies. Distribution strategies is usually relentless and focused on successful income payouts. Scheme popularization. Recruiters. Income payouts will usually be popularized by beneficiaries or friends, because how do they get you? Your friend, they will say, go and bring 3 people. When you bring 3 people, you earn more income. Those 3 people will bring 3 people. Those 3 people will bring 3 people. At the end of the day, you will now become the 100th person who cannot be paid. And so, it is important that we watch out. What are the factors that influence Ponzi schemes? These factors are important because we all have those factors in us. Economic instability. A study shows that 60.3% engage in Ponzi scheme because of economic conditions. However, it is sad to note that that economic condition that you have tried to get out of, you are going to get worsened in it and even die in it if you attempt to use the Ponzi schemes. Human nature, greed. About 19.3% attributed because of quick turnover in investment within a short time period. Oftentimes, we do that believing that, let me do it so quickly so that I can come out of it. Poverty, which is a zero-sum game. Lack of knowledge is also part of, lack of knowledge is also a reason why. So 10.1% said they invest as a means of diversifying their streams of income. Lack of political will to fight these Ponzi schemes before now. Mr. President, because of his political will, signed the Investment and Securities Act into law, which shows the strongest political will that you can ever imagine. In that law, the law stipulates that if you are a Ponzi scheme, you have a minimum of 10 years behind bar if we catch you. Not only that you will be subjected to paying an initial fine of 20 million naira if the Securities and Exchange Commission gets hold of you. That is political will. And that is subject to a change, is subject to an improvement. Which means, as far as we are concerned, as long as the SEC, the current day SEC, under the leadership of Mr. President exists, we have the political will to fight the Ponzi scheme. And we will fight the Ponzi scheme. But there are motivating factors. The sponsors of this scheme, opportunity to make fast, quick, and easy money by exploiting others. I can tell you how many Nigerians have suffered daily out of this result. 88,000 Nigerians were duped to the tune of 189 billion naira by a group of persons that ran what we call the MBA Forex. Some of you may have been victims. They collected 189 billion from 88,000 Nigerians within 1 year. The most recent one was that of CBEX that collected 1.3 trillion from Nigerians within 1.5 years of operating in this country. It only says that we have money, but we are misdirecting that money. We should direct that money to a pure and legitimate investment. Greed, profiteering mentality, lack of knowledge of financial sector and investment. And that is why I want to specially thank the Commandant, Major General A.K. Ibrahim, for inviting me here to at least give you knowledge, give you succor, and give you direction. Because his desire is for the well-being of Nigerian officers and indeed the future of this country in terms of the Nigerian Armed Forces. Public ignorance of viable alternative options that I have listed through stocks, through equity, through commodities. You can invest. There are investment outlets that are genuine and will certainly provide you the kind of returns that you desire depending on your investment horizon. The participants, you too are interested in it, sometimes because of greed. Contentment, they say, is great gain. If you are content and the little you get, you properly manage it with budgets and with all of the discipline that it requires, you will be well always. Lack of public investor information is also a problem, and that's why we are here. That is why I'm gladdened that among the 220 Nigerians, I was chosen to come and do this speech at this Convocation Lecture, to be able to enlighten us. And I promise you that having come here, I will not leave you. I will always be here through the SEC to contribute to the financial knowledge of cadets and officers of the Nigerian Army and Nigerian Armed Forces, and indeed to Nigerians. It is important to note that for us as the SEC, We have a responsibility, and that responsibility is to protect you as investors. But beyond that responsibility to protect you as investors is also to provide market knowledge that you, your family, and indeed Nigerians will key into the modernization that is happening within our economy. Will key into the opportunities that is available within our economy. Will key into the renewed hope agenda, the policies of government aimed at creating wealth and diversifying wealth among Nigerians. As a public servant, having been appointed by Mr. President, I owe all of you, every Nigerian, a responsibility to make sure that you have a safe investment environment. And that safe investment environment starts with me. The responsibility is with me to work for you and to work for all Nigerians. More importantly, to work for our mothers that have come here today to support us, that have come to enjoy, to share the joy of having cadets as graduates, of having officers as graduates, and of indeed supporting the officers that have built this institution in the last 61 years. I feel privileged and honored to have been invited and to have been able to speak my mind to you. And I hope and believe, having done so, I have made an impact. And as we move forward in this joint effort to sanitizing the Nigerian capital market and providing strong investment environment, climate, and opportunity for everyone hearing, we will continue to be of service, and we are ready to remain of service because we are here just to serve you. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Investment, investment, investment. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, our guest speaker has demonstrated his constructive blueprints as valid inputs for our financial self-actualization, wealth creation, economic growth, and these will also drive policy formulation and implementation. Shall we therefore rise and give a standing ovation for the guest speaker for his intellectually enlightening and engaging presentation, please. Thank you. You may be seated. Distinguished ladies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as it is customary in the Nigerian Defense Academy, in events such as this, the Academy shows appreciation to deserving individuals and organizations by presenting them with gifts and souvenirs. May I therefore respectfully invite the Commandant, supported by the Academy Provost, to step forward and present the souvenir to our guest speaker, the Commandant, sir. Thank you, the Commandant, sir. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are gradually approaching the end of today's historic event. It's now time to express our sincere appreciation for your time and company. But before the vote of thanks, I crave your indulgence to make a couple of announcements. There will be a group photograph in front of the main entrance to the auditorium immediately after the recession. However, the guest speaker, the commandant, and other dignitaries will retire to the VIP lounge while the photograph stand is being set. We are kindly requested to maintain order and decorum to ensure a hitch-free photo event. Lunch will be served at the NDA Officers' Mess and Golf Course for the guest speaker, the commandant, the deputy commandant, the academic provost, invited guests, principal, staff officers, and the coordinator, Nigerian Defense Academy officers' wives, and other members of the Ndawowa. Deans of faculties are also expected to join the dignitaries at the ND Officers' Mess and Golf Course. Staff of the Nigerian Defense Academy will have their lunch served at the NDA drill shed. Please see the faculty officers for your meal tickets for this. After the group photograph, after lunch, the guest speaker, alongside other dignitaries and friends of the Nigerian Defense Academy who have not visited our NDA Hall of Fame, are encouraged to also join up for a tour of the Nigerian Defense Academy Hall of Fame following lunch. I now respectfully invite the Academy Registrar, Brigadier General O.A. Ogunleye, to please step forward to give the vote of thanks on behalf of the Commandant, staff, cadets, and postgraduate students of the Nigerian Defense Academy. The Academy Registrar, sir.
Our guest speaker, Dr. Emomotimi John Agama, Director General, Securities and Exchange Commission, the Commandant, Nigerian Defense Academy, representatives of the General Officer Commanding 1 Division Nigerian Army, and the Air Officer Commanding Training Command, Commandants of the Nigerian Army School of Infantry, Warrant Officer Academy, and other military institutions here present, commanders of military formations, heads of paramilitary establishments, vice chancellors, provosts, rectors, and registrars of tertiary institutions here present, heads of ministries, departments, and agencies, past commandants of the Nigerian Defense Academy, the Academy Provost, principal staff officers of the Academy, Academy Librarian, the Coordinator, Nigerian Defense Academy Officers' Wives Association, and other members of the association here present, senior military officers, both serving and retired, deans of faculties, directors, heads of centers and departments, distinguished alumni of the Nigerian Defense Academy, graduating cadets of 72 regular course and postgraduate students, families of the graduating cadets and postgraduate students, distinguished invited guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I am Brigadier General O.A. Ogunleye, the Academy Registrar. It is my singular honor and privilege to move the vote of thanks at this auspicious occasion. This morning, we had the rare privilege of listening to an insightful convocation lecture titled Pathway to Economic Prosperity for a Public Servant in a Deregulated Economy. The lecture was aptly presented by Dr. Emomotimi John Agama, the Director General, Securities and Exchange Commission. No doubt, the highly cerebral but down-to-earth scholar brought his wealth of experience and scholarship to bear in educating us on the ethical opportunities that will enable public officers live a comfortable life both in and out of service. There is no doubt that the lecture has been very educative and inspiring. It is on this note, therefore, that I, on behalf of the Commandant, staff, and cadets, as well as the postgraduate students of the Nigerian Defense Academy, thank our esteemed guest speaker most sincerely for finding time out of his very busy schedule to share his thoughts with us on this all-important topic. Our guest speaker, sir, we are indeed grateful to you for honoring our invitation at this year's Convocation Lecture in honor of the graduating cadets of 72 regular course and the postgraduate students. It is obvious that your choice as the guest speaker was not a mistake. I therefore thank you most sincerely and hope that the existing cordial relationship between the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Nigerian Defense Academy will continue to blossom in the years ahead. Permit me to also at this juncture humbly acknowledge our chief host, our indefatigable commandant, for his visionary leadership and unwavering commitment to excellence in both military and academic training. Your stewardship, sir, continues to elevate the Academy's reputation as a center of excellence that is second to none. Our sincere appreciation also goes to the representative of the General Officer Commanding and Air Officer Commanding and other military commanders, as well as senior officers, both serving and retired, here with us today. Your presence is a testament to your support for the Academy and its mission, which we do not take for granted. I also thank visiting Vice Chancellors, Provosts, Rectors, and Registrars from sister universities present with us here today. We sincerely appreciate your solidarity and partnership. Together, we shall continue to raise the bar of academic excellence in our dear country, Nigeria. My sincere appreciation also goes to the Deputy Commandant, the Academy Provost, Principal Staff Officers, the Academy Librarian, and other staff of the Academy for the invaluable roles you played towards the success of this occasion. I also thank other special guests and well-wishers who came from far and near to grace this auspicious occasion. Permit me to appreciate the coordinator, Nigerian Defense Academy Officers' Wives Association, Mrs. Alima Ibrahim, and other members of the association for their continuous support to all activities of the Academy and for always keeping the home front. To our graduating cadets and postgraduate students, I congratulate you on this milestone. I hope this lecture will serve as a beacon for success as you embark on the next chapter of your life, whether in service, business, research, or leadership. Finally, I sincerely thank all those who contributed to the success of today's occasion, especially those that worked behind the scene. As we conclude this convocation lecture, may the knowledge shared today continue to resonate, and may the values of discipline, scholarship, and patriotism remain our guiding light. Thank you all, and may God continue to bless the Nigerian Defense Academy and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Once again, thank you all, and God bless.
Thank you, sir. May we rise for the national anthem. May we please remain on our seats while the guest speaker, the commandant, the academic provost, and other dignitaries retire to the VIP lounge for recess.
They will enter.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please, those participating in the group photograph can now go to the entrance of the auditorium as the photograph is being prepared. To join in the photograph also is our gentleman cadets. Please, you join up for the group photograph also. Those of us participating in the group photograph are to please go to the entrance of the Academy auditorium and get themselves prepared while the commandant, the guest speaker, is on recess. The gentleman cadet, please, you have also joined up for the group photograph. Thank you very much for your time. From the compare stand, we thank you for your presence, your attention, and your company throughout this historic convocation lecture. May your stay in the academy be pleasant, and may your journey back home be safe and filled with fond memories of this occasion. Once more from the compare stand, we say thank you, and thank you. The band, please. Officers cadet. Gentlemen, officers.